Hello, welcome to another Wings of Fire as Human videos. And today I am doing the little Wings of Fire babies, as in Cliff, Dusky, Auklet, Peacemaker, Bumblebee, Freedom, and Mink. Yeah, we're gonna do all of them because they're so cute and I love them so much. Now, out of all of them, Cliff is 100% my favorite. He's just so precious. He just likes singing and he loves his mom. He's just this innocent guy who gets caught up in all the drama and it's really sad. So for him, I just wanted to make him look like a little gentleman and like a little prince. I made him look a little older. Like, he looks like he's around like 9 instead of like probably 5 like he is in the books, that's my bad. He looks very cute and very sweet. For Freedom, I sort of just made her look like a prisoner, which is like really sad, but that's pretty much all she is. Like, I doubt Cottonmouth would have given her anything like fancy, so she's just wearing rags and has like this chain around her neck and like plants growing all around her. And I also made like a giant scar on her forehead, which is also really sad, but that's supposed to be like where the little vine is like growing out of her forehead. But like, you know, she's normal and alive and happy in this picture. It's just a scar because nobody wants to see that and it would make me cry. For Bumblebee, she's like literally a newborn child, so I literally just drew a little baby wrapped in a blanket with a mango because that's all there is to her at that point in the story. So drawing little infant, turns out there isn't much to it. Like, I don't have to put too much thought into their outfits, just pretty much simple clothing on little small bodies. For Dusky, I imagine he's like the oldest of the group. So if I were to order them from like oldest to youngest, I would probably say, well, Freedom, because, you know, she's like thousands of years old. Dusky, Cliff, then probably Mink, Peacemaker, Auklet, and then Bumblebee. So I made him around like 10, 12 years old. And I don't know, he's just like all the other Silkwings. He's got like a fluffy little neck thing, except this time I gave him little like pom-pom things on it. And he's just so cute. And I love Dusky so much. He's such like a good little character that popped up randomly and we all fell in love with. For Peacemaker, so I don't really have a Rainwing culture set. Just imagine they have like a lot of draping clothes, just like loose, colorful clothes. So that's what I did with him. And then for Auklet, I kept her like the harness on that Coral puts on all her kids for some crazy controlling helicopter mom reason. And I wanted to make her look a lot like her dad, Gil, so this is pretty much what I based it off of. I just wanted her to be like Gil's last gift to Coral. And then I totally forgot to draw Mink in this art piece. I finished it and I started to move on, and then I went to like upload another reference photo, and then I saw Mink's reference photo and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot to draw Mink, so I threw her in there at the end. And so I gave her this giant coat that's supposed to be Glacier's coat, and like she wears it all the time because, you know, her mom's dead and that's really sad. And so she wears her mom's coat and like Snowfall lets her wear it because she's like, oh, my little baby sister, this is the last thing from mom. And you know, it's so sad. I love her. She's so cute and she didn't deserve anything that happened to her. Can't really see her outfit that much because she's standing behind Dusky, but she's got like this little sweater on and like this cute little skirt. Freedom is an absolute gorgeous, amazing character. I loved her so much. I was so shocked at how this random, incredibly well-written character just like popped up in the last book. She stole like the whole fandom's heart, and I was like on the verge of tears when she ended up dying in the end because I was like, no, she needs her happy ending and she didn't get her happy ending. She just sacrifices herself in the end and it made me so sad. Also, the whole evolution thing of like, oh, they used to look like this, I was spot on and I am so proud of myself because that was one of my theories. Alright, I don't have much to say about the babies, but I decided I'm gonna make 2 drawings for this video, which made it take 1,000 times longer. And I turned them all into adults. Yay! Let's go. Okay, first off, we're gonna start with Freedom's design. Freedom, I imagine she's sort of like goth, you know, very like spiky and go away from me, and I pretend like I don't like anybody but my friend group, that I care about them more than anything in the world, and I would punch someone really hard in the face and in the stomach to protect them. So I originally wasn't gonna give her a ponytail, but then she kind of looked a little bald, and so I gave it to her, and I feel like it works a lot better. And I don't really know how I feel about the clothes. I had an idea of like her being sort of like old-fashioned goth type of thing, if that's the right term for whatever this is, but I don't think I did it. I don't think I made it, but the idea is there. I just didn't hit the mark. I might try and redo it later. I also made it to where she has like the vines like snaking through her corset as like the tie. I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know, but I actually really like the way her head turned out, at least. taste. For Cliff, so a lot of singers are very flashy and fashionable, I guess. They have a lot of glitter, and I didn't give him glitter, and I didn't really make him flashy. I still wanted him to be a prince, because that's what he is, but I did give him like the feathers on his like shoulder coat thing, and I just wanted him to look very regal. Like if this was like a friend group, he would be the responsible one, like probably even the main character. He'd love the stage and he'd love singing, but he also really cares about like his whole friend. He just wants to be there for everyone and also enjoy life and bring joy to everyone else's life at the same time. Alright, and then Bumblebee. So all we really get of Bumblebee is that she likes food and she likes sundew and she has a lot of energy, which is what a lot of babies have. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna roll with it. So I kind of went for like Pinkie Pie vibes. So I like made her hair really poofy and like large, and I sort of look like Bumblebee wings. That's what I was like going for, but sort of there's an esque there. And so I just wanted to make her very like big and bubbly looking and very approachable. So I gave her like big pants and like this hoodie sort of type thing. I don't really know what it is, and like stripes and polka dots and puffs everywhere. And I imagine she becomes like a chef baker, and she just like is all over the place being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make everybody food and blah 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 blah. She has too much energy for anyone to handle. She's just Pinkie Pie, pretty much. Alright, and then Dusky. I imagine he's the gentle, kind soul. He's very tall, and he's got a little bit of trauma, you know. He's a little traumatized from, you know, getting kidnapped by a plant man and a plant baby dragon or whatever. But he's just kind and sweet and considerate of everybody. And he's eyeing that cake. He really wants that cake. For some reason, I imagine that Freedom and Cliff are just like best friends for some reason. He's just the person like constantly watching after her and like taking care of her because she ain't got nowhere else to go. Even though she'd probably end up staying with like Luna if that were true, and she'd probably be friends with Dusky. I don't know. In this drawing, I came up with like a whole story in my head of like how they all interact with each other, and Freedom is just like constantly by Cliff's side and they're just like constantly with each other. They're just like the best of friends. Except she's like totally mean and like hits him constantly. In a friendly punch in the shoulder type of way, if that's a thing. And then for Mink, I imagine she becomes a very nice little princess lady. I don't think she wants the throne because, you know, she's not really into the whole killing thing. I imagine she becomes very diplomatic, and she can get very excited at times, but most of the time she's very good at being regal and proper. She wants to follow in her mom's footsteps and be like the best politician royal she can. Even though, you know, Glacier was a little violent, but that's okay. But so I kept her mom's coat, and I sort of made it to where it's like tailored to fit her better because her mom, I imagine, was incredibly tall and huge. And so she could just never grow into it, but she just looks like a nice little sort of like secretary, but like she's so cute and I love her. I think she's probably my favorite out of all of these. She's just so proper and so pretty, and she definitely is the one who like is like patching up Freedom's wounds when she gets into fights. Alright, and then for Auklet, I imagine she becomes like a little bit of a spoiled brat. Like she's just like, she's a little entitled, she's a little bit spoiled, she's a little bit peppy, and, you know, oh, I want this, so I'm gonna get it, even if it's like incredibly expensive. She's like, that's okay, I have the money, it doesn't really matter to me, and has like, needs a wake-up call that not everybody is as rich as her type of thing. And like, she's not a bad person, she's just incredibly spoiled, and that's okay. I imagine Anemone ends up taking the throne because she would, and like, Auklet wants it, but she's a lot like Blaze, to where she could never get it if she tried. She would like fail instantly, and she doesn't really understand the politics and all this stuff. She just wants the entitlement that comes with it and all the cool stuff. But you know what, she's spoiled anyway, so she gets whatever she wants, no matter what. Also, I last minute remembered that I had to give her like the tattoos and stuff, and I kind of panicked, but it's okay, we got there. I put a lot of bubbles on her clothes for some reason. Now, I imagine Peacemaker grew up to be a farmer. You know, he farms strawberries, and he's just a nice, gentle soul that like participates in the fair every year and like, you know, makes strawberry everything. He makes strawberry pie, strawberry cake if they have cake, strawberry anything. He loves strawberries. And he's like the big buff friend. He's like super nice, but he's like really strong. He's a hard-working farm boy, okay? But in this picture, they're all like 20-ish, but I imagine when he's older, like he just wants to be a dad. And so he like, it's got like a big beard, and he's just this big lumberjack looking man, but he's like so sweet and so kind. And you enter his home and you're like, oh, that's an ex-murderer. And he's just like, nah, he's just the sweetest guy you could ever meet. He's just like a cool dad character. But I had a little bit of, I'm not entirely satisfied with his design. I kind of like the cross shawl looking thing he's got on, but like from there down, I'm like, meh. Yeah, that's the sort of like friend group. And if this is canon, which I 100% doubt, and this is what like Arc 4 is gonna be about, I'd be really happy with these guys, even though, you know, Freedom's, so she definitely wouldn't be there, but still. I think it's a kooky little cool group, and I feel like their dynamics would be really cool together, and, you know, I love them all. I think Freedom would hate Auklet, and Auklet would go along with Bumblebee's chaos constantly. She'd just be like, ooh, yay, and like follow her around. And I don't know, I think they'd all be great together. Like, this would be a cool cast for like a TV show or something. I don't know, I might steal these characters and just make a new story with it. I can do whatever I want. I don't know what the next group of people is gonna be. I'm probably gonna start doing sections. It'll probably be love interest characters because, you know, why not? That'd be super fun. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Like and subscribe and all that. Yup. Okay, adios. Bye-bye.